everybody. My name is Melissa Tagg, and I am the Marketing and Live Events Coordinator for My Book Therapy, and I am here today with award-winning author and My Book Therapy founder, Susan May Warren, and we are here to talk to you about the My Book Therapy Frasier Contest. You've got a couple more weeks to enter. The deadline is March 31st, so we just thought we'd chat a little bit about that. So, Susie, to get us started, I thought that I would ask you, with so many other writing contests out there, what inspired you to start the Frasier Contest?
Well, the Frasier Contest is really about that concept that every book out there is competing with each other. So many times we have contests that are having, different categories, but when you walk into a bookstore, you're really competing with every single other book out there. So it's the idea that an author goes in, or a reader rather, goes in and they open up a book and they might read the back cover and they might read the first scene, but, it's not necessarily genre specific. Sometimes it's, they are interested in a sci-fi book, sometimes they're in a romantic suspense book, and so the idea is that we actually compete all against each other with the same storytelling techniques, and so that we can grab our reader with these very common techniques, and yet we're all sort of competing in the real world there. So that's how we've kind of designed the Frasier, to be sort of a slice of real life.
Cool.
Now, that's a really good question, Melissa, and I wanted to ask you, what prompted you to enter the Frasier? It was kind of you were our first winner, and so, that first year was kind of a new thing. We hadn't really done something like this before. It was a little bit innovative, and yet you entered and won, so congratulations. But why did you decide to do that?
Well, I had never entered a writing contest before, but I had been to 2 My Book Therapy retreats, and I learned so much at those and loved it, and I kind of wanted to know what to do next with this whole writing thing, and I wanted feedback, and I wanted to see if I had really learned all the things that I'd been taught at My Book Therapy. So the contest was a very logical next step for me. And really going into it, the biggest thing I was really looking for was feedback. I knew that was going to be a huge part of it. So that actually brings me to a next question for you, is what does make the feedback so unique about the Frasier Contest?
Well, one of the things that we did when I designed it is that I have 3 different levels of judging, and that first level is just that real basic what goes into a first scene, some of the basic elements, and then I went to my judges, and most of them are published authors. If they're not published authors, they are trained by Book Therapy to judge for this contest, so they know what they're looking for, and so I get really specific with them. They know, and so we encourage them to be very forthcoming with teaching and help, and they have been so great and generous with that. I have the most amazing judges. But aside from that, on the back side, once you get your entry, one of the things that we've really tried to do is help people understand the feedback. Sometimes you get contest feedback and you really don't know what it's about, and you go, what does the judge mean? And so what we've tried to do is kind of decode that a little bit, and then point people in the right direction so that they have tools to know how to fix those things that maybe they need to work on, and make it a little bit more understandable for them, so they can really ramp up their writing skills, and so that contest is really useful for them. But that's a really good question. How was the feedback for you? Were you able to use the feedback that you got for the contest?
Absolutely. I was definitely able to use it. I so appreciated that the judges didn't just give us a number and leave it at that. With each thing that they scored us on, they explained why they gave us the score they did, what they were looking for, and then they didn't only tell us the things that we could work or improve on, but also pointed out specific things that they liked about the scene. So yes, you had that. You walked away with stuff that you could do to fix your scene, but also you got to have that good feeling of this is what the judge liked, and that was really nice too.
Oh, good.
So
yay.
Yeah. Really appreciated that part of it. So let's say, we've got the deadline coming up March 31st. Say somebody is kind of waffling on whether to enter or not. Would you have a couple tips for them or a couple thoughts for them as they're getting ready to enter?
Yeah. A contest is a great way to sort of get your feet wet. Some people don't know, where they are in their writing journey, and, having a contest and entering and getting feedback is really helpful for you to figure out where you're weak, where you're strong, are you ready to pitch, and contests are sort of a little bit of a easier way to kind of get your feet wet, because you're not necessarily sitting in front of an agent or editor and pitching your story and having to get their feedback. It's also less expensive than going to a conference, but it also gets you ready for those conferences. We have a number of conferences coming up. This is the start of the conference season. We got Blue Ridge and Right to Publish and OCW and Christian Writers, the Colorado Christian Writers Contest, and all that leads up to ACFW, their big conference in September. And you just need to know whether or not you're ready to go ahead and go to those conferences to pitch. And then if you are ready, then it kind of will reflect it in the judges' scores, and then that gives you some more confidence too. So contests are a great way to get started. I actually got started with a contest, and so I just really a believer in those. And so that's brings me to the next question for you, and that is, what was your biggest challenge when you were preparing for your Frasier entry? You had never really done anything this before. So what was your biggest issue?
Yeah, by far it was writing the synopsis. That was a huge challenge for me, but it was good because it forced me to make sure I had all the pieces of my story there. And I remember you saying that we weren't actually going to be judged on the synopsis, that was more to show the judges that we had thought out our story and had put in all those my book therapy techniques that we learned. Right. But it was still hard for me to do. Yeah. The other hard part was just pressing send. It took a little bravery to do that, but it was worth it. It was great.
Good. I'm glad.
Could you tell us a little bit about this year's final round judges?
Oh, sure. We have two awesome final round judges this year. The first one is Karen Ball, and she is a hoot. I just love her. She is she's been an editor for many, many years, but she's coming to us as an agent. She's actually an agent with Steve Lobby Literary Agency, and she's fabulous. And I had the chance to room with her recently, and she's, aside being an amazing coffee maker, she made me coffee every single morning. It was awesome. But other than that, she's also she's got such a heart for writers. I really, really appreciate her insight. She's so smart, so wise, and really, really wants to help people, and knows how to do it. And so I was very honored when she said yes, she'd be willing to be our final judge. Also, I have Stephanie Broney with Tyndale, and she's an acquisitions editor there, and she's one of my acquisitions editors, and she's just, again, fabulous. She's smart. She knows what she's looking for. She's been around in the industry for a while, so she's also just someone that really knows how to look at a manuscript and see if it'll work or not. So we're very excited to have her as our editor. And then, of course, I'm a judge too, which I really enjoy as well. So those are our three final round judges, and then we have some awesome, first round and second round judges as well. So yeah, it's been really honor to have some amazing judges over the years. So that's a good question, though. You get some feedback from judges, and you always hope that it helps people grow. Did you feel like you have grown from the Frasier? How has the Frasier helped you in your writing journey?
Definitely, I feel like I've grown. One of the things that entering the Frasier did for me was just teach me how to go through a scene and basically do book therapy on it myself before entering the contest. And then the feedback kind of fed into that and showed me the parts that I needed a little bit more work on. So now I feel like each scene that I write, I'm more equipped to go in and do that book therapy on it. And I love that. It's a great feeling to feel like I've gained skill from the contest. Yeah. It also just gave me confidence and helped me be a little bit braver. So a writer really does have to be brave because you're going to be submitting stuff. So the Frasier was a safe first place for that.
Good.
So yeah, I definitely felt like I grew. What is kind of your big hope for this contest, or especially for us writers who enter the contest?
Well, first of all, of course, I want people to get tools. I really think that's so important. As a young writer, you're always like, okay, how do I get better at this and this, and so you don't. It's hard to self-evaluate, right? So just having that feedback to help you evaluate. But also, I want to see people increase in their skills and get published. That's our goal, is to help people get published. So one of the things that we always do is we sort of have like a grading system. So even those that aren't finalists, we have what's called our bronze medalists, and these are people that have shown great improvement or have maybe haven't finaled but are definitely up in that a higher category, and we distinguish those people as well. And And then, of course, my goal is to get people published. And so it's been really fun. We've actually had a number of finalists get published. And so just seeing that happen and celebrate that with them, I believe that there's plenty of room in the publishing world. Maybe I'm strange, but that's just my belief. And I'm just so excited when people get published. I can celebrate with them, and I'm glad that book therapy can be a part of that with them. So that's super exciting, rather, for me. So now, Melissa, you've been putting together a little bit of the pizza party this year, and I'm so excited about it. We've both been kind of doing stuff with it, but you've been kind of at the helm. Can you give us a few hints of what's going to happen?
Yeah, I am so excited for it. Well, first of all, the Frasier Award will be presented. Last year's winner, Andrea Nell, will get to present that. So that's exciting. And if anybody was there last year, they remember that we did some karaoke, which was a blast. And this year, I think we're going to top that by like hundreds. It's going to be hilarious. Yeah, I don't know how many hints to give away, so stop me. But
well,
yeah.
It is gonna be fun. It's gonna be, every year we try to top the last year, and I can't believe that 4 years ago we started at 25. Last year we had over 100. I think we'll probably have over 100, maybe 150 this year. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's really neat too because the Frasier Award is awarded, but we also just let our hair down and have a great time. And I just like to throw a great party. So for me, it's just fun. We never know really what to expect. And now that you're at the helm of that, who knows what's going to happen? So it's going to be great, I know.
Sweet. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So if we wrap things up here, I would just like to ask you, do you have any final words of encouragement for people who are getting ready to press send on their Frasier Contest entry?
Well, I think the biggest one is that we're all on your side. We want you to succeed. Nobody that is a judge is, out to hurt anyone and out to, make them feel bad. All of my judges have been handpicked by me, and for people that have a heart for writers. And so, you are among friends, and we want to help you. And, yes, we're going to give you honest feedback. That's part of our values, is telling you the truth. But we try to do it in a way that works for you, that's in love, and also that will give you the tools you need to grow. So we hope that people will enter the contest. We've tried to design it and make it better every year, and hopefully this will be a fabulous year for people. And but yeah, we're excited about it.